Sipho in the house. How's it, man?
I'm dope, my brother. I'm used to being that side of now in front of the camera. Eh?
So, why are you running this podcast show?
Sure.
What made you to do it?
I was influenced by guys like Joe Rogan, guys like Bo Fricksman, guys like Bo McG. Yeah, so I used to watch them, and I would say I'm a nerd, man. I love books.
Oh, yeah?
I love information, because the only vaccine or an antidote to manipulation, it's seeking knowledge and wisdom.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm that type of guy who I'd rather listen to an interview than listen to music. That's how I love it.
So basically, you like chit-chatting?
Yeah, I love chats. I love to hear people. I like to hear how people think, learn, not to repeat the same mistakes. Like when you go back, I study even leaders. I study guys like Malcolm X. I study Chris Hani. I study Robert Sobukwe. So I want to check where did they make mistakes. Try not to repeat the same mistakes, but to learn from them and become better. Like I want to be a good person. For me, it's telling good stories, becoming a good person. Yeah.
So when did you start this podcast of yours?
This podcast has a year now.
It has a year.
Yeah.
And how do you find it?
Sure.
Is it growing?
It's growing, Baba.
It's growing, eh?
Yeah, with the limited resources I have, it's growing, and I just love how I started. I started from the beginning, started with nothing, and I'm funding this thing. So it's a business.
Yeah. I
run it from my own pocket, and it's tough. There were days where I wanted to
like McG was saying, no government has sponsored
this,
yeah.
Nothing. I had no sponsor. I had to buy the small mic, Molanyana light. I had to get a phone.
Yeah.
So I'm planning to buy cameras. I'm planning to do a course also on filming, editing, so that it's something I'm fascinated about. I want to do. I just like to depend on myself. I believe in myself. I believe that I'm God.
Yeah. The God of podcast.
No, not a God in a sense that I'm gonna dictate to people or anything, but I'm my God. If there's anyone I believe in, it's me. So yeah, God is within.
Yeah.
Even the Bible, it teaches you that greater is He who's inside than the one who's in the world.
Amen.
So we are being taught, especially our leaders, politicians, pastors.
Yes.
They teach us this thing of God being externally, God being somewhere. I do not believe that.
Yeah.
Honestly, now, back then when I was young, I remember I loved this quote, man. When I was young, I used to believe everything.
Yeah.
As I'm growing up, I question everything. And now, currently, as I've matured a bit, I question even the question. What is the motive behind you?
Yeah.
Why are you helping me? What do you want in exchange? I look beyond the things, because we are taught also we've got 5 senses. You see with your eyes, you smell with your nose.
Yes.
You hear with your ears, you touch with your hands.
Yes.
So they're limiting us. We don't only have 5 senses, we've got a lot of senses. We've got deja vus, we've got premonitions.
Our super faith, ne?
Yeah, premonitions where
the
you
instincts
see,
where
you know that,
good,
the guts, the gut feeling. You know that this is gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. You see, you can see that Bosirel, when people were chanting Tumamina, Operation Tumamina, you see that this thing is a scam. This political system, it's rigged, bro. But people were happy, Mr. Tumamina, gonna get rid of corruption. How, bro? In a system, it's a system.
Yeah. So tell me something.
Yeah, sorry.
What is your worst podcast you ever heard? That when you look at it, like, never again.
Never again.
Never again.
I don't have a worst.
You don't have the worst.
All of them are, even the ones I say is the best. All of them, it's a lesson for me. I'm a person who is never satisfied. I'm a person who love corrections. I'll watch a podcast again. I can improve here. Can improve the lighting. I can improve the location. I can improve the sound. Can improve the way I question people, how I hold down conversation. So for me, the worst are the ones, let's say if there was a worst, those are the best because of you get to learn about.
And what are those the best moments you had?
In the podcast?
Yeah.
It was the first episode, bro.
The first episode?
Sure.
What's up?
The first episode, it was, I interviewed my CEO. Shout out to Guy Turner.
Yeah,
it's a white guy. So that guy is the one. I told him before about this thing. I was like, no, I want to do this podcast, so and so, and I want you to be the pilot of this podcast. I was like, I'm coming. So once he agreed, and once he started shooting, and we spoke about business, it was so flawless, bro. It was flowing, the conversation. We spoke about Robert Soff. We spoke about Elon Musk, and he was so intrigued, and he was so happy that a young person is doing this. I'm like, I'm starting this. I don't want something that's already been built, but I want to start this from the bottom and go and learn. I don't want to skip stages, because now people want instant things, instant gratification. For me, it's delayed of gratification, where even if a video can make a one view, it's okay. As long as it can change somebody's life. It's not about the numbers. It's not about the clickbait. That's why I don't do funny stuff on camera.
It's not a great do, it's a great done.
Yeah, I want substance. I want something that's going to help people when somebody's listening to me and be like, this guy is just living a minimal life. Guy from Mekasi. It's possible, bro. As long as you put your mind to it.
So how many people have you interviewed? And
it's a lot.
And why do you feel a need to interview people? Do you interview them because you see a potential in them, or you interview them because you feel you just want to create the opportunity for people to speak on behalf of psychology platform? Or is it how you love networking? Hopefully you might find someone who can push this thing with.
So you know what, when I started this thing, for me the aim has always been to share stories. I don't care whether you're famous, whether you're a guy from next door, whether you're a hobo. If you can sit down and have a conversation, somebody's gonna learn something. And for me, what I've realized now is that I love simple guys, like, who are genuine. I don't like having a celebrity who's gonna give me PR answers, dilly-dallying. I want people who are gonna teach me a lot of things about uranium, about nuclear, about coal, about boilers, physics, anything about cameras, accounting. For me, it's a learning. I never got an opportunity to go to tertiary. And that really broke my heart, bro, because I wanted to become a medical doctor. But I told
a medical doctor?
Yeah.
Then what happened?
Bro, I come from a very poor background, bro. So
there wasn't
the support,
the scholarship.
No, even my results were not that quite good for me to get there. But I knew that I bet on myself.
Something deep within you.
But I was dealing with a lot of things then. During my high school days, my parents were unemployed. I could go to school hungry, travel a long distance to go there, visit somebody whose stomach is full, has got clothes. I don't have clothes. Shoes are torn up. So those things, they affect you. When you get home, you don't have electricity, candle. So those things, and I have to go and mix with guys. We used to smoke a lot. I did everything, you know, and I believe I'm thankful for that, for those experiences.
So is this the reason why you told me that grooming you done?
There's nothing I didn't do, bro.
Yeah. So now you're taking a break.
Me, that's why I chose the stream of science, because I love experimenting. I've experimented with a lot of. I've done things way before people. Bantu benzizinto manje. I mean, I had done all those things. So for me, I believe in foresight. I don't believe in hindsight. So I do things. I know that no, it's time to move now. There's things of puza, drugs, girls. I've learned my lessons there. I went there. I saw. I smoked.
And what was the toughest lesson you've learned throughout that childhood that you've been struggling with?
Bro, the lesson I've learned, it's no matter where you come from, you can still change. Mm-hmm. For me, and I've told myself, I live by this code that I'm not a victim of my circumstances, but I'm a co-creator of my existence. I cannot be blaming my parents. They did what they could.
Yeah.
It was back in apartheid. My father had to come from the Eastern Cape and come here in the Val, in the mine, work here, my mother. So they did what they could, and they taught me valuable lessons in life, like values, respecting people, being humble.
Yeah.
Those situations, they'll humble you, bro.
Absolutely.
Somebody who comes from that background is always humble, is always a hard worker. And now kids are too soft. Parents, don't spoil your kids. That is the worst thing to do. Don't spoil your kids. Don't take away their struggle.
So, can you elaborate when you say they mustn't spoil them?
Yeah, like some parents, they love their kids too much. Like they give them everything. If you teach a child that if you want something in life, nothing is for free. If you want to buy a sneaker, tell them, put them down and say, this is where we at financially. Financial literacy, financial education, that is normally. You can't be taking that for a child. Focus on the education as long as he's eating, has got foods, and stop this thing about designer brands, wanting to fit in, because now into Shire, the pride, ego. There's a book I'm recommending for viewers watching this. Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. Sure.
What are the highlights you can give it to them?
On the book?
Yeah.
That book is too much. There's a formula basically on that book. Ryan teaches you about the formula that there's a plus, there's a negative, there's an equal. So on the plus, you have people in your life. You must have people who are bigger than you, your mentor, people you look up to, so that you can learn from them, become a sponge, learn from them. And then a minus it's a person you are mentoring, like a child. You giving back that information from that child, to anyone in the streets, sharing your experiences, just like I'm doing here. And also there's an equals to where you need to compete with people who are equal to you. To see, even in boxing, you compete with someone who was on the same level with you, so that you can weigh yourself, where are you? So that now you're dealing with that ego. Ego is there even when you don't have money. People have ego. Even when you have money, there's too much ego. Somebody will have an ego, like they want to help you now. You said, no, my pride doesn't allow me. So you have to accept, bro, if you're down and out.
And mostly men do that. Why?
Men are like that, Joe. Especially you find that a man is sick. Bro, a lot of people are sick and they don't go to hospital. They don't speak to their friends. They don't do anything. We need to speak out as men. But sometimes you don't have to be that strong, bro. You need a balance between a masculinity and feminine side. So if...
And where do you fit there?
I mean, I'm masculine, but I do have feminine side where I can cook, I'm caring, I'm agreeable. But, bro, Jordan Peterson speaks about this.
So between your femininity and your masculinity, out of 10, how is your femininity?
I think 3 and masculine 7. But it depends on the situation. It varies. I cannot tell you exact, but it varies. Cause let me make you an example. I was speaking about Jordan B. Peterson when he spoke about a weak man is not a good man. a good man is a dangerous man who has it under voluntary control, which means I have a capacity to harm, to protect my family, but I have it under voluntary control. Depending on situations, what's happening at the time. If they can, they wanna fight us, I'll be there. I go to gym. I create struggles for me. I lift, I push, I walk. I can walk barefoot. I go to the mountains. I connect with nature. If there's an opportunity to learn about guns, I'd go there and learn about guns. If there's an opportunity for me to go to military, I'll go to camp and learn there to be strong.
And what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? You remember that SWOT analysis?
Yeah. Strength, weaknesses, Hey, but mentioning those things, I think I'll give my enemies weapons to.
Okay. Now you're getting somewhere.
You see, so for me, I would say that my strength is I'm teachable. I learn, bro. I'm a sponge. I learn. Whether it's football, whether it's medicine, whether it's law, I learn. Whether it's podcasting, who are the best podcasters? I look at them. Look at history. Steve Jobs speaks about this, that you can only connect the dots looking backwards. I'm a fan, basically, of history. I watch history. I study history. I study things. I don't just read. I study and do my thorough research and learn.
And you implement them.
Not about reading, studying, and all of a sudden you don't even implement one thing like our our ANC-led government. They'll tell you about the nice policies they have. But
speaking of which, of that, why do you think we don't have load shedding, man? What is your think on that?
Joe, do we have time? Let's go. I want to dive deep on this one. Okay. We don't have load shedding now because we're getting closer to the elections. So they just bathenga ubuso ukuthi like see pants, but this thing load shedding, I believe that this thing
I think it's staged. No?
Yeah, it's staged. And if you can go back to the COP26. COP26 is conference of the parties where it was held in Glasgow, Scotland, where they told South Africa to move away from fossil and fuel, to move away from coal, to go to IPPs, independent power producers. So that's our downfall. I look at the leaders. We don't have leaders, bro. We do not. It's like somebody coming into the house and say, no, I don't want you to use electricity anymore. How? In your house? These guys are just in government. They are being put there, but they do not have power. And they impose things on them, like this IPP agenda. Move away from coal. If you can check France, if you can check England, if you can check the USA, all those first world countries, Bona, they've used fossil and fuel, coal, to industrialize their countries. Now they make South Africans sign, our leaders to sign the deals that no, you must move away from coal, which we have about 4,000 years of coal reserve, bro. In Mpumalanga, how many jobs are being lost if we move away from coal to these IPPs? Independent power producers. And if you can look at these IPPs, where are these solars made? Yeah? In China, Baba.
Tell us.
They are bringing them here. So you look at the coal stations now, they want us, power stations, they want us to decommission those power stations. Why? We have nuclear. Why don't you do nuclear? France is using nuclear. About 75% of their electricity is nuclear. So us in South Africa, we do have nuclear power.
Do you remember Malema said this is gonna be worse than COVID. You remember he mentioned.
Yeah, that's true. He was right. He knows.
So what do you think will be worse?
It will be worse because of now.
Because even now the water they take water. Eh?
Yeah, water shedding. Infrastructure. This ANC-led government is failed, Baba. It's the worst, and they hate people. We need to tell this.
Will you vote for ANC?
No, I don't believe in party politics. I won't vote, David.
I've never voted ever since.
I won't waste my time. This year, I did vote last elections for ANC, but now these guys are controlled. When I look at politicians, are like managers, supervisors. They're supervising us. So when we are angry, they'll tell you, no, don't be angry. They'll promise you a future that will never come. But they are saving those multinational companies, those lobbyists, globalists. The guys like Boo, Rupert, Oppenheimers, those families, they are the ones who run the world. Companies like State Street, which is this other one? State Street. I remember the other ones. They run these things.
Have you
BlackRock, Larry Fink.
Yes. Have you heard of New World Order?
Yeah.
What is your take on that?
Basically,
I strongly believe we're gonna have New World Order at some point. Because look how the dollar has dropped, and now the rent is going up. Petrol every time is up. Food, not even to mention bread that we have on daily bread. So, I once had a chat with this guy. He's like, you know what, a New World Order. I remember, I think it was Greek when they came in South Africa. All of them at the Union Building this year. Remember? Yeah. That could form that one thing, one party thing, and you know when the New World Order, bro, we agree on one thing. There's only going to be one currency is going to be working.
Just that, what brought me, especially in Porago, with these things, especially geopolitics, is that as South Africans, when we go there, we don't go as equal partners. They're looting, Baba. They're taking away the mineral resources. These guys are just puppets, comprador bourgeoisies.
They are bought.
Yeah, they're bought with money, and they live, and the so-called revolutionaries. Those are pseudo-revolutionaries. A guy will tell you that, no, I'm a revolutionary. I'm fighting for the people. I'm fighting against whiteness, white people, what. But the person is staying in Sandton. Children, Sandton. Let them come at us.
Great.
Yeah, when somebody, a politician who can come and stay like us and see our struggles. Yeah, I would say, yeah, this guy. These guys are not Thomas Sankara. They are not Che Guevara. Che Guevara, they will not do Izintoleza Bazenza. These guys. These guys are chowing. These guys are looting.
Plus, even they were giving their tenders.
These guys hate black people. They hate us. Thomas Sankara
why they hate us so much?
Died at a young age. He changed Burkina Faso within a space of 4 years, 5 years. Changed Burkina Faso. That's leadership. Taking accountability, changing things, not being a puppet of George Soros or Bill Gates of this world, where you are being told, do this. This is the agenda. This is the agenda. We need people who are strong. We need a dictatorship, or we need a coup. Young people must rise. We must learn about economy.
We must give young people opportunity.
Yeah, we must take this power. They won't give us this people. You know power. People are hogging into power. People don't want to lose power, bro. I kid you not. They've used guns to take power. So when that's the thing I was speaking about, Jordan Peterson. Young men now are becoming weaker and weaker and weaker. Weak man is not a good man.
But what is your view on young people in South Africa where they drop school, they're hopping into drugs, doing nyaupe and all that? What do you think is making them to do that?
Bro, it's social engineering. These things, these drugs and everything, they're accessible. Townships, for me, I call them concentration camps, bro. We're in concentration camps. We're stuck here. We're stuck in the townships, and and people have a scarcity mindset, crabs in the bucket. We're fighting each other, we're killing each other. I remember there's a guy, who's this guy? It's a P.W. Porter. He spoke about this thing. He said, give them guns, they'll kill each other. Give them alcohol, they'll turn into alcoholics. Give them... He was speaking about black people. And this system, that's why I'm saying that this system, this apartheid system, people took it very lightly. That thing, it was, and it is best described in a book called The New Apartheid by Sizwe Mpofu Walsh. He speaks about a guy called Nico Smith. He was quoting Hendrik Verwoerd. He said, apartheid is autopoetic, which means apartheid comes in different ways and forms and shapes. And apartheid, there's no government who will undo apartheid. The segregation, like that thing has affected us psychologically. As black people, apartheid, colonialism, slavery.
Sure.
There's nowhere where you see black people winning. That thing affects us. And we are the majority. Look at South Africa now. South Africa, it's talking about culture. South Africa, a numerical minority has become a cultural majority. Do you understand the statement?
Yeah.
A numerical minority has become a cultural majority. We've lost Ubutina. Who are we as Africans? We've lost that thing. So we are living a Western life. The culture is lost.
Yes. Mostly we are very Western.
Civilization, this colonization, it came with it with capitalism inside. And that thing is a monster. Capitalism chows, Papa.
So, but tell me, my friend, why is it most black people, the one who struggle jobs, though they have degrees from varsity, but white people, they never struggle so much? What do you think on that?
The blacks are the only race who are not united. Look at the Jews.
Yes.
They are united. Look at even South Africa. Let me make an example of South Africa. Look at America. You have an American dream. Look at China. You have the Chinese dragon. Those people are united, especially when it comes to things of politics, things that affect them. The Jews, the Indians, they are united. White Afrikaners, they'll tell you about self-sufficiency. They've built things like Bob Bruder Bond. Jan Smuts commissioned the guy called Hendrik van der Bijl, who was an industrialist who was studying in Germany, a South African, and came and built Eskom, built Bosasol. Things that work, we need to be building, not in black Twitter, arguing. That Tina will become imaginary, like we'll own things imaginary. We'll be in Twitter complaining at the whole day, but we can't do fuck all. We can't help each other. Once I start saying, let's buy black, let's do black, those same people, they'll bewitch you, they'll speak bad about you, Twitter. So we need to love ourselves. We need to stop this victimhood. We need to stop blaming apartheid. We need to stop everything and pause and reflect. Look ourselves in the mirror. That do we love or like who are we becoming now? Like, who are we? Let's go back. We have lost the way. So the best thing is to go back, ask for the way, do our own things, be self-sufficient. We'll never be...
So basically become more like a lost generation.
We lost, bro. We lost because of now, who are we outside of Christianity? Who are we outside of being Muslims? African spirituality.
Back to the roots.
Back to the roots. Then that's where we'll find a way.
That goes where you said we are living a Western life.
Yeah, living a Western life.
Our kids, our grandkids, they adapt the whole thing.
We're looking at things through the eyes of whiteness. And we hate blackness. We hate ourselves. If you can get money, where would you want to live? Won't you go to Branston? Won't you go to Sentin?
Is that the mentality of black people?
That's the mentality, bro. And you can't blame those people who have left Ekasi because of Ekasi is toxic.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah, your aunt hates you to the core. Your brother hates you. Your cousin hates you.
Your own blood, though.
Yeah, your sister hates you. So it's deep, bro. It's psychological.
Deeper than we think.
It's mental. It's psychological. It's spiritual. You can name it.
True.
We need to go there and reboot. Like take like a phone. Take it to factory setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
reset the brain.
Yeah, reset everything and download apps which
and get our original seed.
Yeah,
where we come from.
Yeah, where we come from. People don't know where we come from. Mina at least I know ukuthi ngumXhosa ngibuye Eastern Cape ngingugaba uciwasho uTT bunosinga umntomlambo ngosinomsuku.
La.
Yabo.
Yeah.
Sanse manzini, I know my 2 terms. I know mangisenkingeni, where do I go? So bona mabasenkingeni, where do they go? Once you start ukhuluma nge-African spirituality, is demonized. Yeah, it's a demoni. Even the media, propaganda. People are being fed the propaganda. We take things at face value. We're not critical. We need to be critical thinkers. Yeah. Why is the media vilifying Ubungoma like this?
Yes.
Who's behind this? Yes. Who owns this channel? So yeah, let's not go too far.
Sipho, thank you so much, man. Thank you for having me in my co-host show. Yes, you are the host of this podcast.
How was the show?
Well, it's booming.
How was this episode?
The episode, it's how do I put it, man? You mentioned politics. You've mentioned diversity. You've mentioned orientation, and when I have to put those things all together, it's we had one conversation, but with different figure of speech.
Yeah.
You know, and for that, man, I want to thank you for coming to my show. Till I see you.
Yeah, my brother. One last words is we are spiritual beings who have incarnated this body.
Yes, we have that spirit vessel in us.
Yeah, we are having a human experience, and spirituality is the divine, the system,
the
nature, and us, the connection.
Connection, bro.
Let's connect.
Whoever thought I'll be sitting with you one day here, huh? Whoever thought?
Preach! I can preach, Baba. Tell yourself.
Yeah.
I can prophesy. And I tell people that, guys, be strong, learn.
Yes.
I repeat the same words I spoke about, that the only vaccine, the only antidote to manipulation.
Yes.
It is to seek knowledge.
Yes.
Yes. Seek knowledge, and seek, you will find. Knock, the door will be open to you.
Yes.
And then when they tell you that you can't do anything, quote Philippians 4 and tell them that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Amen.
When they say that He have conquered you, tell them that we conquer through Christ who loves us. So
Amen.
You are God. You are the placebo. You are the best. Love yourself. Don't bleach your skin. Love your melanated skin, your blackness. Live a minimal life, bro.
Yes.
You don't have to own much. You don't have to wear Gucci to be valued. You can be valued just like me. I'm wearing a skipper say Liverpool. And it's okay. Yeah, it's dope, my brother. Peace
Thank you so much, Sipho, to come and share with us.
Yeah, bro.
Much appreciated. I hope for the next episode we're gonna have something different, man.
No stress. What do you want us to speak about on the next one?
Let's take this over the call.
Sure.